Hey guys, this is Jay over at Firebrand Media, and today we're talking about motivational speaker video production. What is it? What can you expect out of it? And how can a videographer and or production company strategically work through it with you? So, motivational speaker videos are a highlight clip of someone's profession, being motivational speakers, authors, people who do tours on stages in different conference settings. But typically, motivational speakers are trying to build a highlight reel over their career, maybe several highlight reels that appeal to different industries. How they engage the audience, how they drum up morale, how they drum up support on stage, and how passionate they are on stage is a part of that larger presentation. Generally, when you work with a motivational speaker, it will be in the event. So you're not working for the event organizer or their event coordinators. You're working specifically with that motivational speaker on their slotted time. The goal for motivational speakers is to create evergreen content that can be remarketed and targeted for new audiences across many sectors. That highlight reel that you create, well, it's a larger piece of their portfolio, being that a motivational speaker will travel across the country from event to event that's scheduled with them, and they're capturing and taking away those digital assets as a raw archive. In most cases, they'll request the raw, but if they have you editing, they'll have you insert or add a certain template that they use across their media library and or use assets from prior conferences as a feeder or a bumper on the video that you're producing. Some deliverables that you can expect from a motivational speaker are obviously the raw, an A to Z cut of their keynote or their speech, social reel, a highlight reel or recap reel that has some, shots of the conference that they were at baked into, let's say, a 30-second, 1-minute format that's jazzed up with music, as well as audience testimonial snippets. So imagine you just got done shooting their keynote. Maybe it was a 45-minute exercise. What they'll do is exit the room and go into the hall and see if anybody who was in the audience would participate in a couple of questions and feedback on their performance on stage. These are very helpful in that they build rapport and trust for that motivational speaker. A production company and or videographer that's contracted to work for a motivational speaker should get access to the room prior to the speaker getting on stage. I'll give you an example of why it's important to have that early access. One of our clients is a UK-based motivational speaker / roofing company owner in Ireland. When he comes over here, he not only gives a motivational speech on stage, but he talks about the industry, foresight, as well as does Q&A sessions on the stage with the crowd. One of our things in contract is having a preliminary survey, again, getting access to that stage prior to him getting on the stage, where we found out that the stage lighting was very dim. Now, we know the event coordinator of the overall event wanted to establish a mood, but that was going to compromise our image quality from the camera. So what did we do as a production company? We talked to the AV group first. The AV group recommends talking to the event coordinator for a final decision. We finally get with her and we said, hey, look, the stage is way too dim and it looks very purple. Can we shift it from magenta to neutral? So she talks back to AV. AV gets that stage brightened up a little bit by a couple of stops, and then they get that magenta more shifted to neutral, meaning that we have an overall balanced picture from the camera shooting to the main stage. Now, why is that important? Again, motivational speakers need as much evergreen content as possible. And the more stylistic that content looks, the harder it's going to be to create diverse assets that look similar in quality and style, but doesn't deviate away from the message. As a production company, it's important to remember that the event coordinator or the company that's hosting the event might have already contracted a production company. So when you come in to focus on that speaker, communicating with that production company so we're not stepping on each other's toes is very important. It's all about relationship building. Remember, we're all working on this together, so making it seamless and effortless and frictionless is the goal. All in all, a motivational speaker is looking for an experience. They're also looking at a year-over-year relationship. When they come back in town, let's say in the Dallas market or the Denver market, or let's say the Northeast market, they are looking for that dependable partner in the space that handles their production needs A to Z. So if you do a good job, there's likely going to be a chance that they're going to come back next year when they're in market or let's say in town for an event. If you have any questions about motivational speaker video production and or need a videographer or a production company like us to come in and assess or plan with you on the elements of it, call us here at Firebrand Media. We'd love to help you.